Hello, everybody. Welcome to Peegs.com. Alongside Trevor Andershock, I'm Jeff Rabjohns. Indiana gets a surprising win after back-to-back 25-point blowout losses. The Hoosiers go on the road and beat Ohio State in overtime, 77-76. Luke Goody, career-high 23 points, outstanding game from him overall, especially shooting the ball. Has the three-pointer that ends up being the game winner. Gives IU the key lead, puts them ahead. Anthony Leo with a key play defensively down the stretch. And then obviously Umar Bol, just a fantastic overall game. 20 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, got in there involved with blocks, steals, just a tremendous game. Trevor, I guess let's start with this, just like a number of different things to get to. But what were the things that sort of stood out to you the most?
I think it starts with IU bouncing back. Like you said, two 25-point losses in a row. You go on the road against a struggling Ohio State team. This team is not as good as it was when it beat Kentucky earlier in the year. But it's still going to be a challenge going into a pretty hostile environment at Value City Arena on the road. You get down 7 points in the first half. Things could really go sideways. They mount that comeback behind Goody. Cannon Carlisle finally gets in transition, makes some buckets there. And then they fight back. They take a 10-point lead in the second half. Looks like they're controlling the game. Ohio State comes back, ties it up. So now you have another kind of adversity type of situation where how are you going to respond in that situation going to overtime after having a 10-point lead late? A lot of teams can fold there. IU gets down early in overtime again and bounces back with the Goody three. I thought just them bouncing back time and time really showed a lot about this team going forward. Obviously, you can't take a ton away from it. We've seen their kind of whole resume of work to this point. But I thought it was a good sign that this team did not quit when they could have multiple times in this game.
Yeah, it's a good point. And obviously there's just so much swirling around the Indiana basketball program. They're in the national conversation, not necessarily for positive reasons. The Fire Woodson chants made national news, got mentioned everywhere, got mentioned on the Golf Channel, for goodness sakes. Not even too sure what that was about. But so Indiana is getting discussed as far as kind of like what is going on with this program. So you have all that swirling, and they're able to go on the road, get a Big Ten win. It does say a lot about the players, the coaches, the whole staff, everybody, that they were able to stay focused on the job at hand, get it done. A number of good performances. Luke Goody kind of jumps out with his scoring, his three-point shooting, career-high 23 points.
Yeah, I thought his key was really getting to the line. He got some free throws early, made a couple early in that second half. I thought that kind of got him in rhythm so that he could make those three-pointers, especially I think he made 4 in the second half, the big one late. I thought it really got going by getting to the free throw line. Him and Mbako really were physical early, drew some fouls in the lane, got to the free throw line. I thought that paid dividends late. IU did have the free throw advantage and might have been a factor in the game when they can make 17 free throws in this one and edge out a 1-point victory. And so really thought it started for Luke Goody inside, getting fouled, making some free throws, and then finding a rhythm from the three-point line and really carrying the load for IU in that second half.
Yeah, he was certainly big as far as making threes and just creating points. And like you said, the big one at the end that ended up being the game winner in overtime. Umar Bol, 40 minutes, very productive. I thought it was the best game he's played for Indiana, certainly. And you'd have to go back and look. Arguably, maybe one of his best games ever in college.
Yeah, I thought so. I was really interested to see how the rotations were going to work. Mike Woodson made that comment to Don Fischer in the pregame radio segment about trying some new things. They put Anthony Leo in the starting lineup. I was wondering how they would kind of play Umar Bol in this one without Bryson Tucker. Obviously not a center, but another forward type of player. And then they go to Langdon Hatton fairly early in the game, so I thought they might just split time. And then Balo does not come out the whole second half or overtime, ends up playing 40 minutes, was clearly fatigued for long stretches, but he fought through it. He was really active defensively, rebounded out of his area. I don't think you get 15 rebounds in a Big Ten game if you're not fighting really hard inside.
Right.
I thought just overall it was another big-time double-double for him. Really put IU on his back just through effort alone. I thought he was more active defensively where, they've been playing him in drop coverage. He's not going to be a hard hedge guy in ball screen action. But he was active after being in drop coverage, kind of a stunt here, recover back to his man in a hurry, no loafing, got back in the play. I thought that was huge for IU, really kind of shutting down Ohio State's productivity around the hoop. They were really getting there early, really easily. And then they kind of slowed him down just enough, and I thought Ballo played a part in that.
Right, right. Yeah, I just thought his ability to play through fatigue sometimes. When you're a center, especially when you're a big center, you're going to get fatigued. It just becomes a question of, can you just, gut it out, to use the old generic phrase. Can you play through it? And to put up his numbers and just play the whole second half, I thought was pretty impressive. Also, Cannon Carlisle comes in. He has a nice three early. You look at it and go, okay, maybe Cannon's got a little something going on tonight. I thought he was pretty solid. Your thoughts on just kind of what he gave IU?
Yeah, it was a kind of an up and down performance. Struggled pretty early other than that three. First half, didn't do much, but finally got out in transition, got some easy buckets. You have not seen that from Cannon Carlisle. He's an athletic guy, athletic guard, can get to the rim a lot more than he does. He gets 3 buckets at the rim tonight. He had 4 total coming into tonight's game. So that just tells you how different his game was tonight, mostly in the second half, getting in transition. Got one cut where Ohio State just forgot about him. Trey Galloway found him for an easy layup. Those things, I think, really help him. He's really struggled in his shot selection, forcing shots, taking mid-range contested shots. Tonight, he got to settle in a little bit in that second half. Obviously, still not a great efficiency, 5 of 12 overall, 2 of 5 at the free throw line. Would love for that to improve, but he gave them a big enough boost to get them over the finish line tonight.
Right, right. Yeah, his efficiency numbers, got a ways to go, but I thought there were enough plays where he was a positive impact, generally speaking, in a Big Ten road game. Anthony Leal had some nice moments. There were a couple times where, his anticipation was obviously really good. Your thoughts on just the play at the end? I think it's Mobley's going to try to take him one-on-one. Thought it was a really nice, really good defensive play from Leal. Obviously very important. That basket goes in, Indiana loses.
Yeah, and I thought IU really needed to make Mobley a driver. He hits 5 threes of Ohio State's 8 in the game. You need to make the freshman guard put it on the floor and make him prove that he can get to the hoop. Leal did that while still contesting him once he got in the paint. Thought it was obviously a huge play, and lucky that Ohio State did not come up with that loose ball a little bit quicker and get a cleaner shot at the end. But I thought he played pretty well. He's obviously not going to be a huge stat sheet stuffer. Not going to look to score very much. He's going to move the ball, play defense, hopefully get an easy bucket here or there, make a 3 if he's open. But I thought Leal did what IU needed him to do tonight, including that huge defensive play.
Right, right. Well, that wraps it up for us from the Indiana's 77-76 win on the road at Ohio State. The Hoosiers are back in action here in a few days at Northwestern before returning home to Simon Scott Assembly Hall. That'll do it for now. You can make sure to check out Trevor's fully written instant analysis and more coverage from this game on Peegs.com. For Trevor Andershock, I'm Jeff Rabjohns. We'll see you soon.